Well, let's start the show by saying, right at this moment, I'm not angry at all. I'm very happy, as a matter of fact, that Texas Tim is back on the show.
Yahoo!
Yeah, Yahoo is right. And he had a family thing for a couple of months, and he was on hiatus. So we're happy that we're all back together, making fun of national and international stupidity. And we have a couple of topics that we're going to talk about today, right, Tim?
Sure.
And first of all, I want to just, before we get to that, two house cleaning things. One is we are now taking on teenagers can be on the show with a note from their mothers, because I think the younger generations have a lot to say. They've been stymied and not listened to, and it's about time we listen to the people we're handing the future off to. So if you got a note from your mother and you're 14, 15, 16 years old, you can come on the show and you can say whatever you want. You can be angry about whatever you want. No judgment, no foul. Let me just start right off. Tim, this fucking fall back and spring ahead, it's stupid, isn't it? I mean, what is the fucking point besides irritating everybody and trying to adjust everybody's bio clock?
Yeah, I really wish we had an expert on this, because it seems to me like over the course of the majority of my life, every year, there's new legislation that's going to end it. This is the final year. And then there's states that decide that they're not going to participate, but then they lose their federal funding. And
for what, time?
I guess.
Or for clocks?
For not adjusting what they claim they're going to revert back to or maintain
it's
new standard. But there is something good about it. You know, when you fall back, you know, it makes it more difficult to get up. But when you spring forward,
it makes it impossible.
And from a staffing standpoint, my favorite day is when the employees that are traditionally late accidentally show up
on time,
either on time or early, and to see the look on their face that they're actually at work early, because of the time clock.
Well, I know Arizona doesn't do it anymore. Arizona sticks to.
I've heard that in Indiana. I've heard.
Right, Indiana, only parts of Indiana.
Only parts of Indiana,
and then you know that those states really don't. I don't know if they know what they're doing, or they don't know what they're doing. Odds are they don't, because you're talking about Indiana and Arizona. But yesterday I was watching the local weather, and they talked about, you know, the spring. And I guess falling back is where we should all want to be, because you actually get more daylight falling back than you do springing forward.
Sure.
And that's kind of an juxtaposed moron kind of thing that people don't understand. And you know, I don't give a shit. Just pick one. I'm just good with one or the other. And I think there was recently some statistics published about that. But I think you and I are of the same mind on that one. Just one or the other and pick it. It's stupid at this point.
And eliminate the fact that it's going to change next year or anytime in the future, because it never changes.
Well, the other fascinating part of this whole discussion is these fucking idiots in Washington can't seem to get to a decision about it. You know, they bring up all these bills, they can't get them passed, and they'll blame it on one little shitty state or another shitty state or whatever, and it makes no sense at all. Just resolve this. This is not a long-term kind of problem. I mean, it's certainly not in any league of the other real problems we have as a nation. So get off your fucking asses and vote on it one way or the other. I'm going to save the best for last, the no shortage of ignorance. We'll circle back to that one. But another thing that's been bothering me, and I'm really pissed off about it, is everything in the world, every business, every degree, everything has been reduced to an acronym. So is this progress? I mean, and then there are a lot of acronyms that mean totally different things. And you look them up and like, which fucking thing am I looking for? Right? And it's just frustrating and angering. Why can't you just tell people what it is? Right? Like,
It's like everybody needs wall space to have postings to describe their corporate philosophy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you're in a doctor's office, there's 50 diplomas and things, and it doesn't mean anything after a while. You go to the doctor's office, doesn't really fucking matter, right? Like Harvard, University of Mexico Medical School, it doesn't really matter. And they got plaques hanging up with everything. But, you could go to LinkedIn and the guy's like CPA, CFGA, GACA, and you're spending half your life, the fuck is this guy? Just tell me I'm an accountant. I'm an accountant. I don't really do anything. I would prefer anything to trying to figure out what every acronym means. That drives me fucking nuts. I mean, I know you laugh because I'm nuts, but.
Well, I'm just trying to think of the most places that are the most annoying to see it. Hospitals annoy me. Seeing acronyms of love and faith and happiness. And
they're ready to kill you in a heartbeat.
You got code blues going on. It's short-staffed and, all sorts of people working on computers. And
Yeah, and they don't give it. I mean, and so LinkedIn is like notorious. And then you go through and you're reading an article and whatever you read, and it says CFC. Now, that can mean chlorofluorocarbons, or it can mean chief financial crook. It's just
crook.
Yeah, chief financial crook. And you're just going through all these things and trying to figure. It's just like trying to delay you from attaining the truth or what should be obvious. And I don't know. I've just had so many encounters with what does that fucking mean? And it just got me ticked off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reinforces that truth isn't a common denominator anymore.
Yeah. I'm just going to put the whole alphabet after my name, right? All the way down the fucking line. It just, it's kind of like a thought leader. To me, a thought leader is anybody you talk to that can make sense. If they don't make sense, they're no thought leader.
Yeah. I mean.
Anyway, so, but more important, I'm glad you're back on.
Well, thank you.
We got a lot to look forward to and a lot to talk about going forward. As far as we could probably spend all year on this one. Abundance of ignorance, no shortage of ignorance. I mean, it starts at the top and shit rolls downhill. Whether you're talking about Washington, D.C., or Austin, or any local community, Dallas, it's just one fucking disaster after another. And, I got so much anger and frustration about that I don't even know where to aim at anymore. Should I aim at Dallas? Should I aim at North Texas? Should I aim at, but I'm the kind of guy that goes right to the top.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of news out there that can make a lot of people really angry. Matter of fact, if you're not angry from a political side, you're
full of shit.
Yeah. You won't fit in.
Yeah, well,
the hatred's critical.
Yeah, you got it. You got to have hatred, right? But so I look at this stuff, and in Washington they lie about everything now. There's not one thing they're straight about. And that is scary and nauseating, but it really fucking pisses me off. They have no concern for the truth. The truth doesn't matter anymore. And every time I read something or see something that has to do with politics or geopolitics, the first thing I do is puke. The second thing I do is start screaming. And I could be driving in my car and I'm like, these fucking assholes don't know what they're doing. Oh, excuse me. Hello, Mr. President? Yeah, you're a douchebag. It just, there's no end to it. And I think that we all deserve a little better than that. Like, the only thing he doesn't lie about is when all of these great people come to the White House to be honored, The only thing that he doesn't lie about is they're getting McDonald's. Right? You know, that nothing else matters. You get to be a guest at the White House, they're going to treat you to McDonald's. Like, fuck you too. So, I don't know. Tim, I don't know. It's just
it's a different era.
Yeah, scary world, hard to navigate. You got to get pissed off, but you got to get unpissed off too, because there's a real delicate balance between love and hate and anger and frustration and just being able to function.
Yeah.
But, you know, you're back. We got a lot of things to talk about. I want to make sure that we enlighten people. We've had some people on in the past with stories of significance. We're going to bring them back on and get some updates because,
yes, very interesting.
Yeah, some of them aren't going well at all. Others are going okay.
Good.
Yeah,
I look forward to catching up on.
Yeah, we're going to have a couple of guys back on, a couple of ladies back on. But yeah, the world is a shit show, and or I guess at least pointing it out helps me get it off my chest. I don't know what other people are pissed off about. I think, like you said, everybody's pissed off about politics, regardless of where you sit on the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so angry about it. Like half the times I can't even get the words out.
Yeah.
And you know, like when you're sad or angry, sometimes it helps to laugh a little too. So
it does.
You know, maybe I should call the president back and tell him he's an asshole, not just a douchebag.
Yeah, laugh at him.
Yeah, schmuck. So let's see what else is happening in the news. I think we were going to stay at war with Iran, but they were going to blow up the ships. They were going to put in mines underwater, and we blew up the ships that were doing it, but we don't know because nobody tells the truth. We don't know where the enriched uranium is. We were going to get that, but maybe not so much because it's too hard to get. And as these things accrue, whatever is right or wrong about the policy and the war, innocence always gets destroyed.
Yeah, and gas prices will prevail
Another
for the
thing.
Majority.
And the guys in
Why is my
Washington,
gas so high?
they don't give a shit about the gas prices,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because the taxpayers pay for it. And regardless, they're all wealthy, and all the people that really concern themselves with the price of gas so they could get to work or school or the doctor, those people we're fucked.
Yeah.
Because that's a gigantic inflationary and substantial cost to society. And these schmucks in Washington laugh at it like, yeah, they'll go up, they'll go down.
Well, they clearly don't have to go through the same airports that regular Americans do, because they would see a lot of angry people out there on this TSA bit, having to be at the airport 4 hours earlier for a 2-hour flight.
I don't know if you remember this. I know in the 70s when we had the gas crisis,
Barely.
waiting on lines, alternating days,
Yeah.
stooping the guy that owned the gas station in your neighborhood with some extra money, so he would call you ahead of time and say, "Oh, you'll be able to get gas tomorrow." I don't know how far away from that we are either, because we don't know we don't know the truth. But I would venture to say that the escalation's going to get worse before it mitigates.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know.
I mean, I'm surprised that society allows TSA to be gone this long. I'm surprised, when
The Department of Homeland Security,
yeah,
DHS, I think that acronym must mean something else, like dumb hillbilly shithead.
well, means that we're not going to move forward with our government because there's no negotiating.
Yeah.
That we're all angry and don't care.
Yeah, and now we go from, like in Iran, they got a guy who's really angry now, killed his whole family. He was a bad guy, corrupt guy to begin with. Now he's worse. So how are we going to make a deal with him? Iran is not Venezuela. It's not Ecuador. It's not Cuba.
Mm-mm.
It's not Greenland. Who else are we taking over? I mean,
Canada.
Canada. Yeah, we should take over Newark and Houston and New Orleans. I mean, I could name a host of places that we could kind of take over and renovate, but Iran is not one of them. It's not tops on the list.
No.
So, anyway. Oh, Tim. So, what's eating at you today?
Well, I've kind of been a little dispelled with things that were brewing up to the war. The Epstein files are interesting to me. The various opinions and subjectivity and analysis, and how it makes people question their government, their leaders, the super wealthy, the powerful.
Yeah, the elite.
Yeah.
The elite of the elite.
And so it's interesting to see, along that line, to see that UFO documents were released, and then subsequently the beginning of the Third World War by many people. Some people call it Armageddon. But the Epstein files are still an undercurrent because people are amazed.
Well, wasn't Nostradamus in the Epstein files? No. I mean, it's a fucking ridiculous set of circumstances, but I don't have much appreciation for UFOs.
I don't think anybody did.
Yeah, and I don't even understand why that was secret to begin with, because they were afraid people would panic.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's where I choose to be ignorant, because it's kind of meaningless to me. But these other things like the Epstein files, the shit about Trump is kind of getting squeezed out of a pimple there. And, was he with those girls? He was buddy with Trump for a while.
Yeah.
But
do you find it funny that both the Epstein jet and the Department of Homeland Security both had luxury bedrooms in them?
Well, that's great, because I think that Kristi Noem needed her sleep, because she's been fucking so many people that, I could understand where she's coming from, needing a nice, comfortable bed on the jet.
Yeah, you'd have to clarify whether that's sexual or non-sexual.
Yeah.
Cause
and it doesn't even matter to me. The whole idea that these fucking public officials are flying around on private jets like they're all the president. Like, I get Air Force One and, whatever, Marine One. And I understand that's the president, whether you like him or not.
And then there's a lot of opposition to this $225 million campaign.
Yeah, the cartoon. I call it the cartoons.
Yeah, that seemingly there's no approval for in our entire government.
Well, she crossed that red line by saying, Mr. Trump approved it.
Yeah, pretty amazing, really.
You know what they say in Yiddish? She's got chutzpah.
What's chutzpah?
Chutzpah is balls.
Balls.
She's got balls.
Yeah, she may have those.
And what was that expression? If the queen had balls, she'd be king. But I it's fascinating, because his gang of screwballs, I didn't think nepotism could get that fucking bad and that weak and that stupid and that pathetic, because they're all friends that blew smoke up how many people blew smoke up your ass, Mr. President? Huh? Oh, they're the greatest. Yeah. And we don't need to listen to the scientists that are well educated, just the morons that circle around you for your scraps. But I mean, it's ludicrous, right? Just absolutely ludicrous. And, Kristi Noem's a piece of work. Corey Lewandowski, he's always been a piece of work. And I want to know the truth about Epstein, right? Like, I don't care. I'm sure there were quite a few innocent people that kind of went down the path of meeting him, and, because he had a great con. He was a great con, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's interesting, raising my three daughters and pointing out along the way that we are who we hang out with, and they don't believe it until they learn it. And it's interesting to me to see in this Epstein thing that the first thing that all the people that are close to him devise to say, oh, I haven't spoken to him since 2011, or we're no longer friends, we don't associate. And then you find out that actually
They did.
there's a few emails, a few photos, a few gatherings that were forgotten.
And more than a few, and a few trips to the island. Oh, I went with my nanny and my wife.
Yeah, I almost think that to lie about that at the beginning makes me madder than whatever crimes you could have committed, because you just perpetuate the hatred, the lies, the blaming.
And the crimes.
Yeah.
Well, that's really the whole point with the Epstein thing, and these real estate brothers, the Alexanders, that just got convicted for all kinds of sex crimes over years and years. Not just one. He didn't just give one girl a Quaalude in college and take her into bed. They raped all of these women, abused all these women, they drugged them, and it wasn't once. It's a forever thing with those scumbags. And that's what society has to reckon with. And Epstein was one of those. And like I said, I'm sure there were people that crossed his path and said, something's not right about this guy, or we're not going to really do anything together. And they went off and did their thing. But he had corrupted people in universities to get kids, people. He had all kinds of corrupt friends that enabled him to be the shitbag that he was.
Yeah.
And the only thing I care about is I do want the truth to come out about Trump, and I do want the truth to come out about how he died in prison. Those are the two things I want to know. Because the rest of it, we know is a life of crime, a life of con.
Yep.
So, yeah, pretty pitiful.
Yeah, it makes me mad.
Yeah, that makes me real fucking mad. And, you have girls, I have a daughter. You're always teaching them, how to scope out people and understand and how to protect themselves and this and that. And then you have these people that are real predators that are they're professional predators.
Yeah. They're affiliated.
Yeah.
From royalty to billionaires to it really makes you question integrity in life. Is it true that people that are so economically or politically successful are above the law? We've always thought it, but now there's really
evidence,
some clear eyes on that.
Yeah. And first thing is the White House. We have this grandiose jerk off as president, and he wants to leave a mark on society, which is what I think is a shit stain on America. And not just with the way he operates, but even little things like, I think we need a bigger ballroom here. And I'm just gonna ask a bunch of my friends to donate $300-400 million so I could build this palace to myself, and then throw off the whole architectural balance of this beautiful, meaningful building that people fought for to create. And, I think I'll just build a gold Arc de Triomphe to Trump, bigger and taller than the Capitol building, or bigger than whatever the biggest skyscraper is in the world. But, I mean, what an asshole. And this is what he has to do with his presidency. Giving away the Medal of Freedom like it's a fucking sweet tart. I mean, I could go on and on with the abundance of ignorance and stupidity and malintent that we've created. And we've allowed it to happen, and we've created the worst of America in the process instead of the best of America. Well, I'm so fucking mad now I can't even talk anymore.
Yeah, it's pretty negative.
Yeah. Well, I got to do something.
Yeah. And then all these world issues get clouded. Like another thing that agitates me is this. His last name Guffrey. news anchor whose mother came up missing.
Oh yes, Vanna Guthrie. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's amazing to me. I outside of Patty Hearst, or I just don't remember anybody being nationally broadcast to have ransom.
Yeah.
And also, I don't even remember Patty Hearst. I just seem to remember the story. But to have that national type of attention and Bitcoin and payments and everything, it's like a movie or a book. But here we are.
What about the other tens of thousands of kids that go missing or abducted, and nobody gives a shit about?
I mean, how could the FBI being involved with the state and the local and it seems to me like after they've done their investigation, they're still going back and looking at the house again 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later. It's like still, I mean, like it just seems like a really sloppy investigation, like it was designed to be sloppy.
Well, I think that you have so many competing organizations and agencies that are competing politically, but more importantly, they're competing media-wise. And that's why you have the FBI saying this, and we're going to take over. Well, think again about all these other people that go missing, kids, older people, whatever. They go missing or they're abducted, and 15 years later, you still see their pictures on a milk carton. I mean, or in the post office. And this is, it's a fucking twisting of the reality. Like, why? Hey, look, I'm sad and I feel bad for the family and Nancy Guthrie, but like you say, why is that national and international news when it's just a kidnapping or a murder? Who knows?
I mean, I just am curious how many ransoms and kidnappings occur, and I have a funny feeling that many of them get resolved. I don't understand why this one's not. Really don't understand.
Yeah, and she look, this poor old woman could be dead and buried in the desert. There's a lot of desert out there. And you could wonder why or who or why. And maybe it was originally, for blackmail or ransom or both. And, I just don't understand why any individual rises to an international level of concern when there's thousands of cases of crimes and abductions and missing people that never even get talked about or mentioned anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like they kidnapped the Queen of England.
Yeah. The common thread, we have TSA that's not there. We have felonies that have been covered up by federal government and powerful people. We have crimes that are committed that have been escalated that just have no answer. Yeah. And it just really ruins your thought in society.
Well, the fabric
from the top
is pulled
to the bottom.
Yeah, the fabric is stretched thin.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fabric of society is stretched thin.
We definitely have to keep our heads on straight and keep a little humor for some of these things, as horrible as it is to say. But I'm so glad to be back. I feel better to be angrier. Thanks for having me revisit these thoughts.
We got to have you back on a more regular basis, Tim.
Yeah.
People were angry with me because they couldn't see you.
Well, it makes me really hateful. I look forward to our next show, Alan.
Yeah. Well, people can have enough of me at some point, but people can't get enough of you. So, well.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll start writing some autographs today.
That's right.